subhanAllah, when the body becomes exhausted, right? And then because of the nafs, because of the weight of its sins and the weight of the nafs on the body, then we must strengthen the ruh. And the ruh is our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when our ruh, meaning that which subhanAllah is not of this world, right? The body, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathered different parts of the earth, right? The body from dunya. But the ruh is from another realm, from a higher realm. Direct connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the body goes back to the earth, the ruh will continue on to its Lord. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Allah it came and to Allah it will return. So that means in order to drag this body, as it's been the whole time, right? Because when the soul separates from the body will decay. The body will waste. And so that's what's happening to us during this fast, right? Is that our bodies are not as connected to our souls as it needs to be. So our bodies are falling behind, right? Our bodies are falling into exhaustion. Our bodies are decaying and wearing out. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Habibina Mawlana Muhammad. But the more we strengthen, which is what this month is about, the more we strengthen our ruh, the more we strengthen our soul, the more we give it the power, as opposed to giving the body the power and the nafs the power, right? Then the soul, literally, it has the ability to yank that body. When, of course, when a soul is dying on the table, and subhanAllah, the soul becomes separated. Sorry, the body is dying on the table and the soul becomes separated, right? When, subhanAllah, the soul returns back to the body, it jolts. Right? When it comes back together, now the body moves into action, right? Because the body is weak. The soul is powerful. The ruh is powerful. The ruh is the reality of who we are. And the ruh, the reality of it is our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now this is the moment. How are you going to strengthen that ruh? What are you going to do? You're like, okay, Sister Ieasha, it's time, right? What are we going to do? Some practical steps. The first thing is make lots of istighfar. There are actions, there are sins, there are behaviors, there's a type of thinking, there's an old conscientiousness, there's an old, they're old thoughts, they're old habits, they're old feelings, they're old memories that are literally covering up the ruh, right? And making it not be able to do its work, not to be able to shine. So what we need to do first and foremost is to get rid of it and make lots of istighfar. Because we know Ramadan is the month of forgiveness, but it's not just by the tongue. That this is the time we've got to think and begin to astaghfirullah, not just saying, may Allah forgive me, asking for Allah's pardon, but asking, Ya Rabbi, remove this thinking from me. Remove this way of understanding things and grant me a new understanding, because this way of thinking is causing me to be pessimistic. This way of thinking is giving more power to the dunya and people and what they will do and what's never going to happen and how they're never going to behave and how they're never going to give us a chance. That's giving power, subhanAllah, to the one to that which is small, as opposed to the thinking that says, Ya Rabbi, you're the one ultimately in control. You are the one, subhanAllah, who ultimately is control. You are the creator of the heavens and the earth, right? You are the creator of the heavens and the earth. And you're the creator of every human being. You can force them to do, subhanAllah, what they themselves don't want to do. So let me focus on you. Let me focus on the one who is the creator of all and recognize your power. And I'm not going to focus on their darkness. I'm going to focus on your light. So the first thing is to look at, where do we have limited thinking? Even in our own personal lives, that is a deficiency ultimately in our creed, a deficiency in our aqidah, where we are, focused on the negativity, the pessimism, even about not just outside, but sometimes ourselves, giving ourselves all kinds of negative talk, right? As opposed to, Ya Rabbi, I'm not capable, but you're capable. Ya Rabbi, yes, I'm weak, but you're powerful. And I'm not concerned about really what, you know, who I am in the equation or who I'm not in the equation. The point is, you created me and you created me to be here in this moment, in this time. So don't let me act on my power. Let me act by your power. And let me get out of my own way. So this is the first thing. We're going to really work on our thinking this month, right? We're going to really work on the thinking. The next thing is, subhanAllah, is that, of course, we're going to work on, after that, we're going to repent and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his pardon. Then after our consciousness and our thinking, to really repent and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sins of about our hearts, our greed. Right? One thing, subhanAllah, that gets revealed really quickly in the night when the fast breaks is our greed becomes really clear. How many times we're going on, we're trying to, for all the 3 meals that we miss, we're trying to make them up, right? Subhanallah, we have these subhanallah adeem. That not only that, we want the big meal, and we want the desserts and the snacks and the big coffee drinks and the big whatever. I'm talking about myself, subhanallah, talking about the things that I want, right? But it becomes obvious, right? Like how greedy we are. Give me, give me, give me, give me. And then, subhanAllah, bihamdi, subhanallah, azim, then the tongue, right? So, but the tongue can only gossip according to what the heart was thinking, according to how the heart was feeling. So you can only gossip about other people, right? Based upon you believe that you are better than them. You can only gossip about other people only because you look down upon them. So that part, we've got to pay attention to our own kibr. May Allah help us. So our greed, our kibr, of course, our lust over things, our anger, right? One thing definitely, subhanAllah, by reducing one aspect, like in terms of food in the body, the soul becomes clear. Hey, this is your case, right? You're an angry person, right? You're yelling and shouting and fighting and doing all kinds of things. Turns out your anger is an issue for you, right? It's not just about you're hungry. Because if you had control over that dog, right? Put that dog on a leash. That's for righteous anger. That's to fight injustice. Now you're fighting the husband or the wife and the kids and the co-workers and the colleagues and the this and the that and the people in traffic. No, subhanAllah, bihamdi, subhanAllah, azim. So when that becomes exposed to us, we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his pardon and for his forgiveness, right? His forgiveness and his pardon to remove it from us, to remove that stain from upon our hearts, right? And those are just a few of the diseases of the heart that are becoming manifest. That in order for us to fully get the blessing of this month, we've got to really, 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 subhanAllah, focus on the things that are really controlling us, right? So, of course, holding grudges against other people, not being able to forgive while we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. We're not able to forgive other people because we can't just let it go, right? Which can develop not only it can create all kinds of things, everything from subhanAllah from anger leads to rancor, leads to treachery, can lead to anxiety, right? Because now you're constantly worried, you're constantly replaying, right? When you're replaying those negative memories, you're replaying those negative conversations, you're replaying those thoughts, and you're not saying, hey, it's time to interrupt that. Right? You've lived rent-free in my head long enough. You've lived rent-free in my heart long enough. I've given you so much power. I've given this past event so much power over my present, and sometimes even determine how it's going to affect my future, that we've then, subhanAllah, even give it over to the way we're going to practice Islam or engage in certain aspects of the deen or not engage in certain aspects of the deen based upon something that hurt us or someone that hurt us in the past. We got to learn to let it go. Let it go. And forgive. These things need to die off, right? These dunyawiya things, these materialistic things that keep us rooted in this world in this way that are causing us to decay, right? We got to let them go. SubhanAllah, as we, begin to clean up the diseases of our heart so that our souls become alive. That's the first step, right? Clean it up, clean up, get clean up the heart, focus on the heart, because that actually doesn't take as much physical energy as it's going to take more mental energy, where maybe even we sit and we journal about some of the things that have come up, some of the things that we've seen, right? Some of the things that have, appeared in our life, in our day, in our relationships from the first half, right? Or maybe we're aware of them all the time, but we're going to use the second half to say, let me put where I've been putting physical energy, let me put spiritual energy to number one, clean up.